So I would say I had a unique childhood. When I was probably in second, or when I was probably 2 years old, maybe 3, my 2 biological sisters and I were taken to Tennessee by my mom. We were born in Iowa, but our mom took us to Tennessee and put us in a foster family situation. So we lived in Spring Hill, Tennessee at a children's orphanage where there was like about 100 other kids. And every so often they'd find a foster family that wanted 3 girls, which was rare. So we'd go to several different foster families, find out we don't want 3 girls under 5 and under. So we would go back to the orphanage, and that happened several times. So we bounced back and forth from orphanage to foster care for several years. Then my biological father, who didn't know we were taken by my biological mother to this foster situation, finally found us, got us back. We were wardens of the state of Tennessee for years. He finally got enough money to buy us back. So then we moved to Forest City and lived with him, and I was probably in second grade. So my sisters and I lived with him for a few years, and that did not turn out great. He was alcohol abuser, physical abuser, and so that went south pretty fast. So we lived there until our school system found out that we were being abused, and they took us to family members. So we got to move to Anamosa and lived with my grandma for a while. And a friend asked me to spend the night one night when I was probably 16, maybe 15 at the time. And so I spent the night, and then another night, and then I never left. So one day her mom came downstairs, and my friend's mom said, "Hey, noticed you haven't left in a few days. What's going on?" So I gave her an explanation of my home life, which I was living with my grandma, and my grandma also had at the time been taking care of several of my cousins. So my grandma was overwhelmed. We were sleeping on the floor or outside in the summer because it was too hot. And so once my friend's mom kind of heard about that day, she got the van and went to my grandma's house in a garbage bag and loaded me up, and then I moved in with a friend at 16. So I lived there for a few years, then went to college, and somehow made it out of just that situation from my biological family. And at the age of 21, I was technically adopted by my now family. I don't know, I think it turned out really good for me. Built character, all the good stuff. So it's not a sob story or a victim story for me.
No.
So
It's amazing.
And so as an adult, I think my spiritual reawakening, I could say, happened as soon as I had kids. If you don't believe in God after you have a kid, that's the craziest thing. So I got connected with the Cedar Falls Bible Conference through my good friend Jen, and her and I used to live next to each other. And one day I had a kid. He was probably 1 at the time or younger, and she would always say, "Just come play in our playground outside." So we'd always just sneak in their backyard and use their swing set. And that just sparred this friendship between us. And so through just dialogue, one day she just said, "Do you want to do a Bible study with me?" And it was just almost like I jumped on her and hugged her like, "Yes, I do." And it's just not a natural conversation. But Jen made it seem so natural to just say, "Do you want to do a Bible study with me?" So I did, and we've been doing that for years together, just her and I, and we've added girls and, done kind of evolved it. But then she also invited me to come to the Bible conference, and I sat through a few seminars or what are they called? Sessions. Yeah, and really enjoyed it. And then the following year, I just came on my own. I invited some friends, and some girlfriends came to the women's sessions, and that's kind of how I got started, was through my friend. I would say that this year I got connected with the Bible conference more than ever by the Retreat House Project with Jess Hansen. So her and I she started it, and she asked me to help just progress the retreat center into something more, that it had so much potential to just show the hospitality of Jesus and really just use that space. And she knew that I had history in graphic design, art, photography, and just my skill set. So her and I jumped in, we started that project, which led me to being on the grounds more, just feeling at peace more with it, this place set apart. And so I keep talking about it with other friends, and you know what I can do? I can do one more thing. Oh, I can help with this table project, or it just kept evolving and snowballing, and I can't tell you exactly why I'm out there every day, if it's the spirit or what it is, but I love to be there. It's hard to describe. As a Cedar Falls person, I didn't know about it. I live right by there. And I would drive by thinking, what is that? Look at all those weird small houses. Why are they so little? Oh, they're cabins. Am I supposed to be there? Is this a thing? So that's how my like baseline, what is the Bible conference? That's what I know. That's what most of my friends know. So when I got invited out there and I thought, oh, this is great. That message was great. I wasn't expecting what I got out there. So that's kind of started the snowball of the evolution of how come I'm out there so much.